If you have seen the movie E.T., I bet you haven't seen it like this. Tomorrow night, then Sunday afternoon, Symphony San Jose is performing the music live as the film is shown on the big screen at the Center for the Performing Arts in downtown San Jose. I am so excited to welcome guest conductor Tim Hankewich to the night to talk about what's going to be an amazing evening and afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Garcia. Great to see you.
E.T., I grew up on E.T., right? I was very young when I saw it. I've seen it 100 times since. I haven't seen it like this.
Right.
The music makes me cry when I'm listening to John Williams and washing dishes in my kitchen. So I imagine seeing and hearing it live is a whole different experience.
You are much younger than I am. And I have to say, I was of a certain age when this film first came out. And it is one of the reasons I became a musician. I mean, the music of John Williams is so iconic, whether it's E.T. or Star Wars or Close Encounters. And I was so taken with this film. And as I've been working on it again and revisiting it, it does the same thing to me when I was a little kid. It makes me cry.
It really
I mean, the
does.
film just really holds up very, very well. So I'm really excited to be involved with this project.
So it's your first time conducting in San Jose.
Right.
You've been with the symphony for a couple days now, kind of doing some mad practices.
Absolutely.
Tell me what are you managing? Because as a conductor, usually it's you and the musicians. But now Steven Spielberg comes in with this movie, right? And so how do you balance, what is now a trio instead of a duet?
Right. That's a really great way of putting on it, because the movie is the third and most important character. And so if you were talking about it as a normal symphonic concert, there's an energy that goes back and forth between conductor and orchestra, and even the audience. There's a vibe that comes in there. Now that you have the film, there are certain dramatic moments that have to align perfectly with the film. And so as a result, I have to be very disciplined in the tempos and the approach that I take. So it's much more, in many ways, more restrictive, but it also requires much greater discipline for both orchestra and conductor.
I sort of, imagine you as the man on top of the wagon with a team of horses that either wants to run away or doesn't want to budge, and it's up to you to keep them right where they need to be.
A team of 75 horses. I mean, it's nothing short of a miracle when you have, I think, off air we were talking about how music is everywhere in our lives. I mean, you can't escape it, and we sometimes forget it's made by human beings. And so when you see this film that's been in existence for how many, 40 years?
Since 1982.
There we go. And then 80 musicians coming together to play it in real time. It's nothing short of a miracle, actually. And so, I've been doing this for a very long time, but it still makes me very emotional to see this very human endeavor and playing the music I grew up with. I mean, never in a billion years did I ever think this was going to be possible when I first saw this movie, and now it's like I'm living my boyhood dream.
I love it. I love it. I have to say, E.T. in particular holds a special place in my heart. I took my boys to see Star Wars in concert at San Francisco Symphony, so they got to experience those films for the first time with the San Francisco Symphony. Every time we hear that music, I stop whatever I'm doing, I go over to them, I hug and I kiss them, I say, oh, remember when we went, and then, we took part, we had dinner, and we relive the moment. When I say that live music changes lives, exactly what I mean.
When you hear the soundtrack in real time, I mean, you'll hear the full power of a symphony orchestra. It elevates the music as a prominent character in the whole field. And so you actually really get to understand the true genius of John Williams. I mean, my goodness, the guy is a master. He makes the orchestra sing. And musicians love to play it, although they grumble a little bit because it's hard to play.
It sounds hard.
It's really hard.
It sounds hard.
But it uses the orchestra in its full virtuosic capacity, and so musicians hunger for this kind of music to play.
Can we talk about that moment in the play? And I think it's called the flying theme, where all the boys are on their bikes and E.T.'s wrapped up in the front bed. And when they take flight, waterworks. What's it like in the Symphony Hall at that moment?
It's both as satisfying and stressful, because this is one of the moments where
this is the moment.
That's the moment. You have to hit your marks. I mean, if I'm a second too soon or a second too late, the power of that moment is lost. So in terms of executing, it's a little stressful, but when you hit the mark, I've seen this movie like 500 times to get ready for this performance, and when you hit the mark, it still makes your heart sing. Nobody can write a flying theme like John Williams.
Oh, I'm so excited. I wish you everything, but everything, including the best. For your two performances this weekend, we have an opportunity tomorrow night and then Sunday matinee. If you have never had this experience for E.T. or any other film, I do urge you to go if it's at all possible for you. Tim, so nice to meet you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Enjoy. Have fun. Now Now, if you would like to attend Symphony San Jose's E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, it is this weekend only. So 7:30 tomorrow night is your first chance, then 2:30 Sunday. I love a Sunday matinee.